Emmanuel Sanchez, who is expected to serve as Colgan's litmus test.
Litmus test. You can take a look at that record of 7-0. Archie Colgan has been on fire, but Emmanuel Sanchez at 20-8 has a ton of experience. He is a fantastic fighter. This is a tremendous matchup.
Here once again is Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here from Chicago at Bellator 297, we'll move now to the lightweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 155 pounds, the two-time featherweight title challenger as a professional, brings 20 wins, 8 losses, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by way of Harvard, Illinois, Emmanuel El Matador Sanchez. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 155 pounds, just off a dramatic first round knockout victory. He makes the quick return, still undefeated. Now 7 professional victories without a defeat. He fights out of Denver, Colorado, Archie Colgan. In charge, your referee, Mike Cimarusti.
You heard the weighing in companion commentary from Big John McCarthy and Josh Thompson. Mauro Ranallo now taking over for JT. Archie Colgan, hey, he thinks one day he's going to take over the entire division. Emmanuel Sanchez, he's looking to bounce back from the longest losing streak of his career. He's lost 4 in a row, John, but he returned to lightweight in his last fight against Yancy Medeiros, and he thought he should have been given the decision. He was outpointed, and now again serving as a barometer for just how good Archie Colgan is, because he is the talk of the sport when it comes to prospects.
Look, if you're talking about prospects, Archie Colgan is one of the hot prospects out there. Everyone knows. Look, this guy can wrestle, and I mean he can wrestle, but he doesn't really use it a lot. He likes to be on his feet. He likes to use his hands, and we've seen he not only has power, he is a technical striker. He uses his footwork very well. He'll throw the kicks, but Emmanuel Sanchez has he's got a motor, and he will definitely take the fight to the ground and be in a jiu-jitsu fight with Colgan any day.
Trevor Whitman has helped Colgan sharpen his striking skills, 7-0 with 5 knockouts, including a monster KO over Justin Montalvo in the first round of his last fight earlier this year in March. And again, very composed, very patient, and for a 27-year-old in just his 8th professional fight, his approach really does belie his lack of maturity as a mixed martial artist, John. He was at University of Wyoming, trained by Justin Salas, who was also a University of Wyoming wrestling alum. But Emmanuel Sanchez looking to give Colgan some stiff tests. He just defended a takedown.
He did defend the takedown, but if you noticed, it was very nice what Archie Colgan did by using that body shot inside. Look, Emmanuel Sanchez he's a beast. I love him as a fighter. He has got a gas tank. He's a volume fighter. He's a guy that needs to get going, and he will hit you with nothing but all kinds of shots. No matter where you are in the fight, he has to stop the pressure that Archie Colgan brings and keep his hands moving.
Always a tough out, Emmanuel Sanchez. 8 decision wins in the Bellator featherweight division, most in divisional history. But again, returned to 155 in his last fight, hoping to turn the tables on his career, but now looking to cut down the momentum of Colgan, who delivered a cutting calf kick to Sanchez's lead leg. And by the way, John, Sanchez, after a decade with Rufus Sport, now working with Vanderlei Jiu-Jitsu MMA, and Daniel Vanderlei, he's a part of the storyline coming up later tonight. The former Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach of bantamweight champion Sergio Pettis, now in the corner of challenger Patricio Pitbull tonight.
Well, that's a big story, and there's a lot to talk about with it. But right now, Emmanuel Sanchez needs to really up his volume. It's the volume attack that you see right there. That's what makes Emmanuel Sanchez so difficult to fight.
Beautiful counter combination by Colgan. Again, remaining calm under fire and able to split the guard with a textbook 1-2.
And there's no doubt when you're taking a look at this matchup, this is a big step up in competition for Archie Colgan. He's had some, fights where you look good fighters, but not with the experience of Emmanuel Sanchez.
And the takedown secured by Archie Colgan. Wide base, Very active on his back, the veteran Sanchez. Sanchez does have 8 submission wins, only 1 knockout, and here in his 29th professional fight, by far the most experienced competitor of Archie Colgan's blossoming career.
No doubt about it. You see Sanchez really looking towards going either into an armbar or bring that up for a triangle attempt, but he just needs to, right now, continue to change that angle. Colgan right now is really being heavy on the top as far as stopping the hip movement of Sanchez, and he just wants to land good ground and pound shots, both elbows and punches.
Under a minute left in the first frame. Sanchez very active on his back. Colgan posturing up and then moving out. Almost got hit with the up kick. Rocked Sanchez with that right hand. Uppercut connects. He caught Sanchez behind the ear. Really messing with his equilibrium momentarily, but Sanchez is resilient as they come.
Sanchez landed a good up kick there. Actually, that stung Colgan, and then Colgan came right back and just gave it back.
Half minute remaining again. The learning curve of Archie Colgan, very happy with how things have gone thus far in Bellator when you're unbeaten, and he realizes, you know, he's proven, hey, I already can beat guys at my level. I want to beat those guys that people think are at another level. And in terms of experience and wherewithal and IQ, Emmanuel Sanchez, despite the losing streak, represents that test. Jumping knee as we come to the end of an eventful round 1, scheduled for 3 rounds in the Bellator MMA lightweight division. A big step up for Archie Colgan, who has definitely looked the part of a blue chip prospect thus far.
Yeah, both guys have been, both guys have led the dance here. Both guys have been the guys pushing the other one back, and then you'll see that little shift of momentum.
Sanchez landing 30 of 55, a great start to the fight for the veteran, 55%, but also a decent opening 5 minutes for Archie Colgan.
Very close round, and it's really a question of that power, and you can go back to that kick that Sanchez.
By Colgan, platoon takedown, slam by the University of Wyoming alum, and that's the second takedown for Archie Colgan, but again, Sanchez has him on lockdown immediately.
Well, he's holding on to him, but Colgan very good with.
Nice escape by Sanchez, back to his feet, tripod.
Gonna roll through. Colgan stops that, just stuffs the hips on him.
Good control from the back by Colgan, rear waist lock, John.
And these are the positions that Archie Colgan, being a wrestler with the credentials that he has, this is his world right here, you guys. So you're gonna see Sanchez try to roll through, and he's gonna come out on top. That's the difference when you're working with someone that is so used to that flow of 2 bodies in motion and understands how to maintain that top position.
Colgan working from side control. Sanchez trying to neutralize any kind of attack, controlling his posture momentarily, trying to sweep, and does so back to his feet. Uppercut by Sanchez on the break, and again, Colgan, John, just resorts back to the game plan, tries to stick the jab, tries to slow down the pace to where he can execute whatever strategy he would like to employ. Again, showing the fact that he does not panic under fire.
No, and that comes from where he trains and the guys that he trains with. You got a guy here.
Body kick by Sanchez.
One of his main sparring partners and training partners is Kamaru Usman. That kind of training just gets you ready and says, if I can train with this guy, I can fight with anyone. That's the kind of confidence Archie Colgan has.
1-2, and of course, Justin Gaethje, known for his striking prowess, to say the least.
It's not bad.
Midway through the round and the fight, many people were talking about this as the one fight, well, there's a bunch of them on the prelims, but the fight that really has caught the intrigue, especially hardcore MMA fans, knowing what Archie Colgan has done so far, and here in just his 8th professional fight, taking on 29-fight veteran, former 2-time featherweight title challenger Emmanuel Sanchez, who looked to change levels, secure the takedown, well defended by Colgan.
Yeah, that's not going to be an easy thing for Emmanuel to do against Colgan, but look, the fact that he's making Colgan realize, hey, I'll work at taking you down too, that says something here. But exactly what you're saying, Colgan right now, look, he knows, wow, this is different. This is a different level. It's a different type of intensity. And he's seeing that, a guy that brings the volume that Emmanuel Sanchez does, he just keeps coming. You've got to tell yourself.
I'm contractually obligated every time I see foot stomps. Shout out to the king of the streets, Marco Huas. Thank you. A minute 35 left in the second round, but Sanchez pulling out every trick, trying to see what Archie Colgan is made of. And Colgan again on the release, resets. Sanchez stepping in, looking for the slashing elbow, goes back to the 1-2, but Colgan avoiding the damage, staying out of range.
You know, one of the things we know about Emmanuel Sanchez is he's got a gas tank. He can go and go. That was a big shot he just took right there. But you're seeing that Colgan.
Oh, body kick by Sanchez.
Colgan's in outstanding condition. He's not breathing hard. He's right there.
Oh, head kick blocked. And we see the kickboxing of Sanchez again, working with Rufus Sport all that time under Duke Rufus with his stand-up, but again, making the move to Daniel Vanderlei, BJJ, looking for that change. And John, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. Front kick to the body of Colgan as Sanchez trying to mix up his looks.
Well, at least now you can see Sanchez.
Oh!
Clean shot by Colgan. Sanchez is the one trying to push Colgan back. He's trying to apply the pressure.
Nice takedown again, timed perfectly by Archie King Colgan.
But that's what Colgan's wrestling can do for you. At any moment, he can shoot in and take you off your feet. That is an advantage that Archie has over most of his opponents.
His third successful takedown in 4 attempts. Hasn't really been able to capitalize much due to the savvy of Emmanuel Sanchez. Very active off his back as we are through 10 minutes in this lightweight battle. Still willing to take risks, still willing to really test Archie Colgan with those flying attacks. Almost paid for it with the right hand, but again, you admire the grit, the heart. Of course, Emmanuel Sanchez is hard-nosed.
The fact that he will go after it and do it.
Third and final round, and Sanchez using 3-punch combination, just trying to find his range. And Colgan, high guard. Colgan changes levels and tries to run through Sanchez. Well defended. Sanchez with the high plum, trying to deliver knees. Colgan frames out, and they reset in the center of the cage.
Beautiful job by Emmanuel Sanchez to step out of that.
The one area that Sanchez has been successful and has the edge in is in the kicking department.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's going to win that kicking department. He comes from a kickboxing background. Archie Colgan more boxing-centric with his stand-up. He's got power in his hands, but you got to look at one of the things that was really nice you saw when Sanchez stepped out of that.
Huge advantage for Sanchez, 92%. Well, Colgan 100, but just 4-4. But like you said, boxing-centric and the kickboxing of Emmanuel Sanchez. Nice short lead left hook there by Colgan.
That was a nice
again
second
with the
one.
left hook.
And those are the ones, look, those count big time because you saw it take him off balance. You saw that it actually made him have to adjust.
And yet, Sanchez continues to march forward. Countered by Colgan, level change.
Good job with his hips,
and again,
back.
trying to defend it. Now Sanchez jumping up, looking for the guillotine.
Okay, Archie Colgan needs to keep that head high right now.
A Hail Mary for Emmanuel Sanchez, 318, looking for the guillotine choke.
You don't want to see Archie Colgan allow his head to get bent down. There you go. Good job by pulling his head out.
Immediately standing the ground punches, and boy, Sanchez, all you can handle off his back.
Look, Sanchez, his jiu-jitsu is for real. We have talked about it many times. He gets into ground battles. This guy understands exactly what he needs to do, and he is a very good submission fighter.
As you mentioned, his endurance cardio really second to none. This guy just keeps going and going at this pace. Colgan, meanwhile, looking to do some damage within the guard, but needs to posture up and is unable to do so because of the veteran Sanchez.
Big time elbow there by Archie Colgan. It was a beautiful job. You saw him slide that hand away. Another clean elbow.
Midway point of the final frame. Important minutes in the embryonic career of Archie Colgan. Meanwhile, Emmanuel Sanchez trying to return to, as he put it, promotional prominence by stealing Archie Colgan's momentum.
Right now, all these shots that you're seeing there, and I love that Emmanuel is being busy, but those short, hard elbows by Colgan, those are going to score more with the judges than all the little ones that are coming up from Sanchez. There's just not as much weight and power behind him. There can't be, just based upon where his body position is.
A competitive fight, and again, the stats don't tell the whole story, but right now, Sanchez with a huge edge in terms of total strikes landed, and yet when you look at positional control, the takedowns, the other aspects of MMA, John, it tells a different story.
Well, it's a one-way street on that, and it's going to be very hard for Emmanuel Sanchez to try to out-wrestle Archie Colgan, but he can use his jiu-jitsu to put him in danger, which we've seen him do already.
Colgan, when we asked what fans should expect to see, he told us a composed, calculated, and explosive athlete. We've seen a lot of that, and he's definitely exploded with the takedown.
Well, you know, the takedown has worked for him because when he's been on top, he's been able to land those elbow strikes. Those are the most significant things that have been happening with a lot of these positions. So, although Emmanuel's doing a great job trying to swing right now, he's almost hit.
Wow, keeps Colgan from going to full side control. Short elbow from the bottom by Sanchez. Still fishing for the triangle.
Looking for that triangle.
And now the posturing up of Archie Colgan. And again, John, you see his body language totally composed, not panicking at all and defending against Sanchez, who now resorts to delivering hammer fists.
And what people need to understand is there's nothing for Colgan to panic about. Yes, he's got the decision to try to get to a triangle, but there's no submission there at that time.
Butterfly. Cross leg now, and Archie Colgan from
Tough
top
fight.
position.
Tough fight.
Very tough fight, and the kind of fight Archie Colgan will face as he continues his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go now to your three judges. Your first, Sal D'Amato, scores at 29-28, while judges Brandon Mason and Derek Cleary both see it the same, 30-27. All for the winner by unanimous decision. He's still undefeated, Archie Colgan.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now.